Hello Internet, welcome to another Linux learning tutorial. In this comprehensive tutorial, we'll learn how to manage file permissions on a Unix machine. This has always been one of the most important topics while performing system administration on a Unix machine, and within no time we'll be able to understand all those intricate values that show up in front of the files and all those numerical values. Those are pretty hard to understand otherwise. Now I'll use ls-l to show the list of files and folders inside a folder. Now over here you can see the file permissions as 10 characters right in front of any file, or as a matter of fact any folder. So the first character is either a dash or a D. Dash represents a file, D represents a folder. So it's as simple as that. And the next 9 characters can be subdivided into 3 characters each, where 3 characters represent the file permissions for the owner. The next 3 characters represent the file permissions for the group, and the last 3 characters represent the file permissions for all the others. Alright, now having said that, it'll become easier to understand that whatever is written on the front, on right in front of the file, represents whether it's a file or a folder, and what all permissions are given to the owner, to the group to which the owner belongs, and to any other person on this machine. Now it makes more sense to system administrators because they divide the users into groups and all. Now here I'd like to mention that U stands for user, the first 3 characters of course. G stands for group, the next 3 characters. And I'll specify O for others. Last 3 characters. So that is how you decode all the 10 characters that you see here when you do ls-l. Now if you want to add or subtract some permissions, we must know R stands for read, W stands for write, and X stands for execute. So if you look at any of the files, you'd be for example, we take up this file t2.tcl. here I am able to read and write the file. The group to which I belong is able to read and write the file, and any other person on this machine would be able to only read the file. Now if you want to add or subtract these permissions, we would need to use a command, a very famous command known as chmod. Which is change mode. And how do we do that? We'll go to the terminal window. Alright, chmod plus x t2.tcl. Now you can see I have been given the permission to execute the file. And now I have removed it by using minus sign. Now let's go back to chmod, and now we'll discuss those numbers. Like you might have seen people changing the file permissions using certain numbers like 741 or 766, etc. Now I'll tell you the code behind these numbers. 4 stands for read, 2 stands for write, and 1 represents execute. Now if someone says chmod 777, that means he or she is trying to change the permissions to 777. The first 7 stands for the user, second 7 stands for the group, the next number stands for any other person on the computer. But what is 7? Because we have just decoded 4, 2 and 1. 7 would be sum of all these. Now if someone has the permission to read plus write plus execute, that will be 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is equal to 7. And similarly, combination of all these would result into whether you want to give a read or a write, or both read and write, a combination of anything. So we'll go back to the terminal window. I'll use these numbers to change the permissions. Now I'll use chmod 777 to the same file t2.tcl, and I'll do ls-l, and you can see everybody's been given all permissions to read, to write, to execute. And let me just run this command again. I'll do a 744. It'll be rwx, r and r. RWX for me, R for my group, and R for any other person on the computer. So that is how you can change it. And have a control over all the permissions that you could have on the files and folders in your machine. And I hope this quick tutorial was helpful, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day and a good life. Bye bye.